Hey, what's up, everyone? It's my guy knows a guy with Social the Locksmith. We're here with the
Mhm.
Baller Bet podcasts presented by SportX.Bet. Good morning, Sosa. It's my dog right here.
What's up, my boy? You already know.
Coming off a great night, bro. Coming off a great night. It's plentiful, bro. It's feastful. People like the winter. I like the summer too. Last night, the motor
All
boat with the
seasons.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Facts.
How'd you do last night, bro? Let's talk about it. Let me just share. Let me
Man,
just share this.
last night, last night was just it was a lick. It was an easy night, Um, really wasn't anything difficult to pick. I mean, if you read the lines, you saw what was going down. I went perfect. I got Milwaukee to cover, Milwaukee's team total, Denver. I had a money line. I should have took them. Probably should have took them -1.5, whatever. But it worked out well. I had their team total as well. Had Dame to score 30 and Dame to get me 8 assists. So he every single day. It was a good night. Indeed.
It was a great night, bro. I really enjoyed watching the second game. I had Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. We were on Twitter Spaces earlier. I talked about Toronto
But I had
Maple
that too.
Leafs. I had the Leafs in that game. The only L I did take was the Edmonton Oilers. I had them last night, but I did have Giannis over on points. I had Milwaukee to win the game. I had Milwaukee. I had the game total over 223 and a half. Played those pretty late. Just want to say good morning to everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're gonna go through
So
all of the
happened.
games, talk about some of the news. It's another day. It's another day to feast. It's the NBA playoffs, bro. It's the NBA playoffs tonight. Today, I'm surprised that they scheduled. I'm surprised that they scheduled the Laker game and the Clipper game at the exact same time. Three big games on paper, star power all over.
Indeed.
The TV ratings will be high tonight. They will be high tonight.
I
I
mean, we
can't
got
wait.
we got blockbuster television, first round, superstars across the board. Can't ask
15,
for can't ask for anything more.
15 baseball games. 15 baseball games, bro.
Multiple aces
Aces,
on the hill too.
aces on the mound. This is a season where you can get a lot of cross sport action going on. Got some people in here with us. What's up, Panda Marks, Jose? How you guys doing, bro? It's early morning. A lot of
What
people
it
are at
do, what it
work,
do.
but we're ready to talk about these games. Let's go into a bit of the news tonight. There's really a question that I have for everyone too. What's up, Simba? Who's under more pressure tonight, LeBron or Kawhi? We know LeBron has the injury, but who is under more pressure tonight, LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard, after sustaining Game 1 losses going into Game 2? Who's under more pressure? What do you think?
For me personally, I believe that the guy that's under more pressure is Kawhi. I mean, I could see, the Lakers losing game two, going back home and figuring it out at home. But you can't lose two games on your home floor to a team that took you to the brink last year without your second best player and without their second best player. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And then also uh, LeBron gets more of the benefit of the doubt. It's like Anthony Davis, not 100%. It's a lot more little talking points that can give LeBron a bit of a pass. Kawhi, PG, no excuse. You got to get it done. There's one guy on the other side that's whooping your ass. I know the other ancillary guys are making plays, but there's one guy that you're supposed to game plan for, and he's absolutely torching you. So for Kawhi, I think it's 100%. I don't think LeBron's really playing with any real pressure. He's playing with house money. He lose a game on the road, he could just say, okay, we didn't get home court. We're going to go home and figure it out. Kawhi can't do that. He's on his home floor. I don't think there's even really much of debate for me.
Yeah, so Kawhi, because it's mainly because of the injury.
Yeah, it's
Kawhi, bro. I know he shot poorly from the 3 point line. I know he dropped a decent amount of points. 26 points. There's pressure on
correct.
Paul George too going into tonight. We all know what he turns into in the playoffs.
I think there's more pressure on him than anyone, to be
Paul
honest.
George
Yeah, I mean, look at him. He's what has he been since he's left Indiana? I mean, he's been the guy
in
you
big
pick out.
games, in big
He's literally
games.
the guy you pick out to hit a game winning shot. If you want to hit a game winning shot, just make sure he's guarding you. Like that's the way. Like Paul George is just you want barbecue, he's the guy. You
After
know?
game one, I'm looking at Twitter like Pandemic P is back to trending number one.
Oh, it's
Pandemic, they were
awful.
waiting. The people were waiting. Pandemic P has returned. What's up,
The
Danny,
only,
my guy, Cameron? How you guys doing today?
only thing
Jose.
he didn't do the second time was hit the only thing he didn't do in the first game here was hit the side of the backboard. That's the only thing he didn't do. I mean, he looked awful, man. And all this talk about being elite perimeter defenders, well, where? How? Show me. And you got Luka Doncic just getting anywhere on the floor he wants. He's getting everybody involved. It's they're and Tyronn Lue is looking like a complete ass. Tonight is, I think tonight the Clippers are in the same boat as Denver. I think that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a team that is extremely desperate and needs a win. If you don't get that, Dallas is going to beat them. They're going to win the series.
You're talking about like in the long run, obviously, not necessarily endorsing a pick for tonight, but
Right? No, not for tonight. But as far as winning tonight, I think it's a must win for them, man. I think they're really
it's obviously a must win. Dallas
on that. They can't afford to lose tonight in any capacity. They can't afford a loss tonight.
I'm just surprised that Dallas beat them that decisively in game one, but the spread is still like the same, or if not steaming towards the Clippers still even further. Something that I was looking at, just trying to get a handle of this game. Even looked at last season as a sample size. We're talking about the Clippers Mavericks NBA playoffs matchup tonight, just so you know. Big game 2 tonight. The Mavs beat them by 10 points decisively in game 1. A game that pretty much surprised a lot of the basketball community. It didn't surprise me per se because we saw the sample size of Luka with Kristaps Porzingis, who didn't even really have a great game in game 1.
Right. But
that was also something startling.
He played a presence. He was a presence. He did make an impact on the game.
He did make an impact on the game, and maybe he's starting to understand his role. There was some friction between him and Luka going into the playoffs. All that's been thrown out the window. So pretty much, yeah, we talked about that. Who's under more pressure? What do you guys think? Who's under more pressure, LeBron or Kawhi, going into this game? I know LeBron's been hampered by injuries, but there's big pressure on both LA teams tonight.
LeBron. It's not just LeBron too, though. Like LeBron has he has those built-in.
He has the cachet.
Listen, AD's not healthy. Schroeder didn't play like the last 15 games. It's not being played at the LA Fitness. These games are at actual NBA stadiums with people in it. There's no video screen up there with the homies who are season ticket holders. These are actually people watching the game.
It's crazy, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about one other piece of news, and then we'll just go through all the games. We're going to go through the 3 NBA games for tonight, and then we'll talk about some MLB baseball picks as well, some stuff that's going on with the league. Things are kind of kicking into – we have a better sample size to bet baseball now if you're into that. 15 baseball games today. So let's talk about one other thing that is just on my mind. It's actually something to do with tomorrow's game, the Jazz-Grizzlies game. Donovan Mitchell, apparently there's some drama going on in Utah. Donovan Mitchell is really mad at the team for scratching him at the last minute versus the Grizzlies. I'm not going to say that necessarily cost them the game because maybe he wouldn't have been in form anyways, but he's pretty mad at his own organization. How do you feel about that? Like, we don't really see that dynamic between star player and teams. Like, he got scratched at the last second. They lose to the Grizzlies game 1. The fire has been lit under his ass and the entire organization. So what's going on with Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz?
And I know they need him. That's one thing. Secondly, you can say it cost him the game. I think that Donovan Mitchell, based on what he brings you just on the floor, leadership, being the best player on the team, he gets the best out of guys like Gobert. And he's just a weapon. He's the best weapon they present at any time. Not having him was huge. Just because also, if you watch the end of the game, they closed the game pretty well. Like, they had a shot at the very end. If Donovan is in the game in those decisive moments, you like the Utah Jazz a lot more, whether he's 100% or not. If he's 90%, you're cool with that. You're like, he is that good. I wouldn't take too much stock. He knows he's got to come in and perform immediately. It's not one of those, well, I have to get my legs under me. They need to win. I think, and then also they lost. Okay, cool. You got an extra couple days of rest. So now really go out there and go get 40. I can't fault the organization. They're invested in him long term, as Gobert as well. He did not really do he wasn't that super difference maker that a lot of people try to make him into. But they were still in the game at the end. I think that an 80% Donovan Mitchell is enough to get them over the hump. Not that the Grizzlies aren't good. It's just that he can contribute to that big of an impact on the game. So I think that's it. I also, like I said, that whole friction with I don't take too much stock because they both need each other. One's paying the other.
I think it's smoke and mirrors, and they come out and cover in that game probably. Like the timing of when they pulled him. The timing of when they pulled him right before that game the other day, like it burnt many Utah bettors. I wasn't on them that day, but it's just really something to take. Like the line movement in that series, like has already dramatically, like it's crazy. The Grizzlies before the series to win the series were plus 890, or better, plus 900 range to win the series. So it's just something they're peaking at the right time. We see this in baseball, football, that dynamic a lot. The play-in tournament is essentially a wild card game. A lot of times we see teams use that as a platform to catapult themselves, just going into the playoffs, just because of the steam and the momentum that you get. You see it in other sports a lot. We'll probably see it in basketball.
Get hot at the right time.
Get hot at the right time. We see it all the time. I want to thank everyone for listening as well. This is a show we'll be doing, Sosa, the Locksmith, and I, called the Baller Bet Podcast. Probably have some audio for you guys as well. Just want to thank you for taking your time out in the morning to join us, or if you have time to watch it later. We're just dispelling the information that we know, just trying to crank it up. This is presented by SportX.Bet. Doing some things with this great sports book. We're going to show off some of the things going on with the interface and some of the tournaments that we can all join as well. Sosa the Locksmith is here. He's been killing it on Twitter. Make sure you guys give him a follow. In basketball, MLB,
you name it.
We have a lot of great conversations, especially with some of the guys in the chat going on a regular basis. Join us on Twitter Spaces. We just talk about sports. We talk about sports. We talk about profiting off sports. Just trying to find an edge as time goes along. It could be soccer. It can be we watch a lot of things. Tennis.
Absolutely.
Just looking for an edge 365 all year round.
If anybody in the comments understands how to bet cricket, hit my DMs.
Trying to understand the cricket market.
That's my only
big match fixing.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I haven't mastered. I like understanding the scoring. It's such a weird sport, man. But if anyone in the comments knows how to bet it, definitely DM me. For sure.
Yeah, so let's jump right into the NBA slate for tonight, the early game. We're going to see monster TV ratings tonight. I'm just calling it out. Look at the slate. I have the dash up. I use teamrankings.com for stats. I've actually never asked you what stat dashboard you use for basketball. I'm sure you use a couple different. You use baseball so much.
I check out team rankings like from time to time. But for me, I
just like their interface.
Yeah, more for me is the eye test on for basketball. Like I literally watch a lot of games. I'll rewatch them. Like right after the game, like 2 hours later, they'll have like the YouTube recap of everything.
Like the 10-minute highlights.
Yeah, I'll look at all that.
I eat the 10-minute highlights up. That's bread and butter.
Right, and you see you see players perform. Those cut-ups actually give you like a good idea of like how players perform in the fourth quarter, because the highlights usually are. There's some like cool highlights early on, but then you see like the difference making place at the end of the game, how they perform in the fourth quarter, stuff like that. I take more stock into stuff like that. Also, role players on the road, stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for, because that's what the games come down to. That and if I'm digging deeper into stats, I'm looking for rebound differential and free throws. Those are the things that I look for, not. I don't really look at like a lot of like money movement, stuff like that. Like when I'm matching up like a game, money movement matters from a betting standpoint, obviously. But like when it comes, my approach is like who's going to win the game and like where
and the metrics that matter, quality metrics,
and the major metrics that are going to move the meter in the game. So
that was very well said. I like Team Rankings interface. I use them for the way they organize against the spread stats, ATS stats. That's really what I use it for. I don't really use it for money movement, but the way that they display information, it's high quality stuff. They even organize the advanced metrics for rankings, like automated, like for throughout the teams, kind of like Basketball Reference, but cleaner. I look at a lot of the stats that you talked about.
Basketball Reference is like It's like super in depth.
Yeah, it's everything. It's kind of like just a cleaner. Yeah, but let's jump right into it. Celtics, Nets minus 9.5, 227.5 on the total. The first game was a really, really low scoring game. What's going on in this game, bro? Is it just too much for Boston? Is Boston are they gonna just wish that they were in the lottery? Are they gonna wish that they just lost that playing game and just went on to the lottery? Because
I'm looking at it, man, and
the Nets didn't play very well.
They played
until the end.
First half. They played terrible in the first half. They couldn't hit anything. And if you're watching the game, you were just waiting on the run. The run is coming. It's coming, and it came. They won the game. They handled business at the end. The Celtics are they're just outmatched right now, and we it's easy to say because we see the big three come together. They're extremely talented. It's obviously arguably the best offensive assortment of basketball players we've ever seen put on one roster from the front end, from the front end talent's insane. Those three guys, wing players, can get their shot whenever they want, can score, get to the free throw line. We've never seen it. The Celtics they're just undermatched. And the thing is that Brooklyn actually has matchup issues from a defensive standpoint, but Boston cannot match them point for point at any point. Like they came out the other night and they played about as perfect the first half as you can, being undermanned against Brooklyn. And also you saw the element of, well, Brooklyn missed a lot. That played into it too. Like Brooklyn doesn't come out and brick a lot like that. Just like Milwaukee, it's just perfect comparison. First game didn't come out, looked kind of suspect, missed, and then it clicked last night. That's my expectation with that. Just because, bro, look at the Boston roster. You got Jason Tatum, Kemba, who again, you might be able to put up points against this Nets team, but you can't go 3, 4, 5 possessions like you did in the third quarter without getting a bucket. You can't do that. If you do that against them at any point,
it's unacceptable. They hovered around 20 points for 3 of the quarters, the Celtics, in the first game. The Celtics, we know the talent, we know the GM wizardry that the Nets have done. They've one-upped Danny Ainge and the Celtics. They probably couldn't wait to face these guys because all they've been hearing for the last 7 to 8 years is how Boston has fleeced them on draft trades over and over again. Boston has.
Let's be honest though. Brooklyn kind of got, I wouldn't say lucky, but
they had an injection of cash. Billionaire owner. They have right. James Harden.
You get
it's a show now.
Generational players to just say, hey, we want to come here. Like it helps a lot.
It's just crazy how fast things have turned. Boston. This is going to be a quick series, but 9.5 point spread today. I think that Boston is going to run up and down the court tonight. I think we're going to see a more open game, and they're going to try not to slow things down and play that half-court style that they were trying to play. I think that Boston came into the last game with the wrong approach, even though they were up early in the game until the Nets started clicking. The Nets really won that game because of the free throw line and how well they shot as a team from the free throw line. They were really kind of in trouble when it comes to the way the game was played in the field. But it's just like you said with the Bucks last night, and Simba saying in the chat as well, 23% from the three-point line for the Nets is not going to happen again tonight. That's super clear angle right there.
That's all I feel. That's how I feel. I mean, bro, it's like first game, I get it. And then also, again, we're always going to give Brad Stevens the benefit of the doubt. He's a very good coach. I think he's an elite basketball coach. Some people, think otherwise. I don't know why. But he, like I said, they played about as perfect a half as you can in a basketball game against that type of talent. They're not. It's just unfathomable to believe that they can go another game or come anywhere close to shooting that bad. Like even if they hit 3 or 4 more, they win the game by 25. You know what I mean? Like they're just, Boston's just outmatched. If Jaylen Brown was playing, I would legitimately give Boston a shot to win a couple games. But not having him in the lineup, it's just with
the low efficiency of Evan Fournier, it's a lot easier to game plan for Jason Tatum. They threw the kitchen sink at Jason Tatum in game 1, even though they don't necessarily have the personnel to do so. Just with the way that they were running him off the 3-point line in that game shows you Like the Nets can play defense at times.
Well, it's kind of easy though. It's kind of easy though when your main objective is to just take one guy out the game, because you're just basically saying none of these other guys are good. Like, yes, Kemba's going to get his, cool, but don't let Jason Tatum torch you. And as long as that doesn't happen, they don't have anything for them. They don't
tying back into the coaching, like the coaching angle that you talked about. I think that the only path for Boston to victory tonight is for them to run the floor. And the Boston's a high volume 3-point shooting team, and they're actually a top 5 team in the NBA when it comes to 3-pointers made. Not necessarily efficiency and percentage, but 3-pointers made across the season. They were still a top 5 team. I expect them to try to go blow for blow with the Nets tonight, although they don't have the personnel to. And that's why I just want to say that I lean towards the over tonight in the Nets. I don't like the Celtics with the plus 9.5. Just because of the matchup. The way I pick the games in the playoffs, I would like to pick the Nets, the Celtics tonight. I think that they can stay within range. They can stay within range just because of the volume of 3-point shooting. But the way that the Nets shot poorly in Game 1, for that fact alone, just like Simba said in the chat, 23%. If they can even get halfway towards their average as a team when it comes to effective field goal percentage, and if the Celtics can run with them, I think this game will fly over 227.5. That's just my opinion. I like the over 227.5 in this game. I like the Tatum props.
I love the over. I love it. But you know why I love the over? Because I think Brooklyn's probably about to put up 145.
They're just going to have a Brooklyn Nets
That's
game.
why I like the over, bro. They just shot so poorly. I think you're about to see a good old-fashioned stomping at the Barclays Center tonight. It's like 137 to like 111, like some shit like that. That's my expectation. I mean, you can give Brad Stevens as much credit as you want. They just don't have the talent, bro. Like, they just don't got it. I mean, Brooklyn sleptwalked for about 40 minutes of that game and beat them handily. You know
handily,
what I mean?
Bro. Handily.
I just can't see it, bro.
You see a spread like 9. Boston's still a name brand team. There's going to be a bit of money on Boston, but it'll still be overwhelming. People will be looking into what we were just talking about. I'm fully aware of that. I know that in this situation, just with they still have Jason Tatum, has a lot of playoff games under his belt. Kemba Walker is regressing right before our eyes. Marcus Smart, they don't have the offensive talent, but I would still look at Jason Tatum props as well if you're into the prop market.
I agree.
I think that even if they get blown out, they can stay within range of getting their numbers. They threw so much at him. He's a playoff performer, Jason Tatum. Even if they lose by 20 tonight, Jason Tatum can drop 30. And I think that for even money, it's 30.5. So it's shaded up after the bad game. I can see him hitting his 3-point total and his points total in this game, even if they get covered on.
Also, real quick, for anybody out here who listen, the Nets didn't become some defensive juggernaut overnight. They still fucking stink at the defensive end. They're playing a team that sucks offensively. So please, anybody out there who are hearing the people on TV say, "Oh, they don't play good defense." They're playing a team that is absolutely trash scoring the ball. And missing an all-star that's 25 points a game out the starting lineup. So those people on TV they do not play good defense. Please do not believe it. Don't listen to it. Boston could have had 100 points at the rim. They just decided to shoot a bunch of jump shots. Don't be fooled by that, please. Anyone, for real, man. I have no faith in this Boston team. It's not, like I said, it's not the coach. It's just they don't got it. I'm watching it, and it's like Tatum. I like Tatum to get 35. I like Kemba to probably get 25. But I like them to also lose by 25. You know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about a player that's also popular in out here, like Aaron Aflalo.
Wasn't he trying to
not Aaron Aflalo? My bad.
Evan Fournier. Like buy a team. That's
I actually just went crazy because I was looking at the history of the teams. Evan Fournier's efficiency is dipping. Someone in the chat just said they thought you were white. By the way, something completely unrelated.
That's cool. I get it all the time. But I see the thing is, I got a face for TV, and I got a voice for radio, so it's all good. I appreciate it.
Hey, black, white, we just want to win, cash some tickets,
For sure, man. It doesn't matter.
Thanks everyone for joining us, though. We're talking about the Celtics Nets matchup tonight.
How many white people named Sosa? Come on now.
Hey, you never know, bro. It's a nickname. It's a nickname. But yeah, I'm looking at some of the money splits right now, just looking both ways. If you guys didn't know, on SportX.Bet, you can actually make markets. So if you want to be the bookie for the night, you can put the bread up. If there's a side that you like, you can essentially create the market where you take other people's bets. Something to definitely look into. But yeah, Nets Celtics tonight. We have Celtics +9. The line's actually going down. It's +9 now from 9.5. I'm not playing the side in this game. I'm on the over 227.5. What do you have in this game overall? I see Danny, my guy in the chat, talking about team total for the Nets. If I like the over for the game, I mean, why not play the team total? I didn't look at the number, but what's going on with the total and the side for you in this game? Just before we move on to the Lakers Suns game, we'll talk about the Lakers game next.
I like the over in the game. I definitely like the over. I think that, like you said, the Celtics understand pace is going to help them. Pace helps you against a team like Brooklyn. When you try to slow it down, you got to remember they have amazing one-on-one players that can execute in the half. It's about knowing when to pick and choose to slow the game down. To play them with pace, that's actually the smarter idea, right? D'Antoni figured that out when he played against the Warriors. It's like he tried to play defense, but that shit didn't work. It was like, let's go out there, try to score 150, and hopefully they end up with 149. So like that's I think that is the strategy that has to be employed by Boston at this point. It's just go run. And then as far as the game, I like Brooklyn to cover, man. I do. I just don't think that there's nothing outside of Jason Tatum. Like there's nothing that tells me like this team is good enough to go up against these guys, especially after seeing the first game and they're like, Tatum had a good game or whatever, but everyone else, look at the rest of the team. And then Brooklyn's just like, we played like shit and we still whooped their ass. So that's pretty much like the approach for me. I think I like Brooklyn to cover and I like the game to go over. Those are my looks my leans right now.
I'll probably play. I'm definitely
betting the over though. Definitely betting the over.
Yeah, the over. I'm getting ready. I'm just gonna do a bit more like last minute stuff, and I'm around noon. I'm probably gonna be like locking that in.
Right.
Over 227. Brooklyn to cover. We're definitely aligned on the total. I'm aligned with you on the spread. I'm just gonna chill on this series on the spread. It seems a bit easy. I don't have my conspiracy hat on right now, but I definitely will probably have it on when this series shifts to Boston. Boston is a very mysterious team. Not endorsing them on the money line tonight, but we do see a lot of mysterious things in game twos in the playoffs historically. We definitely see that the money line is priced out for the Nets, but I'm going to play the over 227 for this game. We can definitely move. Let's move on to, when it comes to story, when it comes to what the NBA is all about this time of the year. This is what this night is all about to me. The Lakers-Suns game. You guys can see the volumes so far. This is definitely the most bet on game of the day so far. Let's talk about the Suns and the Lakers. The Suns were 1.5 to 2 point favorites in game one. Chris Paul gets nipped on the shoulder. We don't know if he's exactly 100%. We're hearing all kinds of Twitter doctors talking about this game and his shoulder.
Twitter doctors.
I've seen a bunch of Twitter doctors, and I actually saw a real Twitter doctor talking about Chris Paul's shoulder. Had me laughing, but how do you know unless you're his actual doctor, right?
Right. How do you know what they're actually releasing to the media? How the fuck do we know anything's even wrong with him?
But the line of this game is telling. I thought that the Lakers would go into this game. My gut was telling me +3, Lakers +3 in this game after losing by 9 in the first game. We got an adjustment, a massive over adjustment based on Chris Paul's shoulder, the exact other way. The Lakers are now -1.5 point favorites, -2 in some places, I believe. Money lines are looking tight. This is a crazy game, bro. Is LeBron going down 2-0 with the injury, with the injury that's been so well promoted? What's going on here? Are the Suns for real? Money printing machines all season, colliding forces here. We also know that LeBron is 80% in game 2s in his career. Crazy angle. What's up?
I need a sports book. I need a sports book that will let me bet on the number of free throws attempted by the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. You want to talk about conspiracy head? All right. DeAndre Ayton will have 2 fouls within the first 4 minutes of tonight's game. Can we bet that somewhere?
You're saying it's a hit job.
Can we bet that somewhere?
Under PRA on Ayton.
Can we bet that somewhere?
Ayton under PRA.
Ayton, first quarter, 2 fouls. Lock it, load it, guaranteed.
First 4 minutes of the game.
First 4 minutes of the goddamn game. What happened? Somebody flopped. He got called for an over the back. Watch what you see tonight, guys. Just watch. Yeah, I'm going with the Lakers. I think you kind of have to roll with the Lakers. It's LeBron James. It's game 2. It's LeBron James. It's game 2, man. 70. We saw a lot of fouls called last night in that Portland game. Get ready for the whistle, guys.
I'm still seeing some money on Lakers side though, but it's way tighter than the first game. People are believing in Phoenix. This game, bro, I find it very difficult to believe the Lakers will go down 2-0. I like the Lakers on the money line in this game tonight. Let's see what it currently is, if it shifted from about an hour ago. I'm seeing Lakers minus 120 right now. The total has gone up a point from 209.5 earlier this morning to 210.5. I kind of like the over in that game as well, but we know that the Lakers had the best defensive efficiency of any team in the NBA this season. That's really what kept them. That's really the reason that they made the playoffs.
Because they play at a super slow pace as well. They slow it down extremely. It's that's where numbers can be skewed.
Context is everything when it comes to
these
advanced metrics.
Context. They're so great defensively. Well, if they play 12 less possessions than everyone else, I don't know. I'm not a mathematician.
They played a slower pace. I know that they had when you even put a microscope on them further in the fourth quarter, they were even better in the fourth quarter when it comes to defense throughout the season. And to have as many different lineups as the Lakers had this season, to me, that's the only reason that they made the playoffs is their defense, because the West was biting this year. The Suns have been a money printing machine this season.
They've been outstanding.
Outstanding. I have the futures ticket in my pocket. Made quite a bit of money with the Phoenix Suns this season.
The reason why
I'm buying into the bounce back narrative in this game, though. I think that we get a great game from Anthony Davis. I think that the Suns win another close game. The Lakers win another close game. That last game was pretty close to me, in terms of pace. They lost by 9, but I like the Lakers money line tonight, bro. How do you feel about that?
I like the notion and the idea, but it's all going to come down to Chris Paul. This is what a lot of people are going to say. This, well, the Lakers shot 7 for 26 from 3. They did. They did not. They shot terribly from 3, right? But Phoenix has also defended the 3-point line better than any team all year. So that's not new that a team would shoot bad from the 3-point line against the Suns. It's what they've done all season. They defended the 3-point line better than anyone, right? And it's not the games aren't being played at the LA Fitness. So Caruso, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and them other guys, I don't know. Also, the Lakers, the Suns didn't score 100 points and they won the game. So it's not like a dead giveaway that this is a Laker game. Neither team played good offensively, and again, Phoenix didn't score 100 points and won the game.
That was extremely telling. Also, the experience narrative that we were seeing going into the series. This is a team that still has Chris Paul, who has hundreds of playoff games under his belt. Jay Crowder has over 100 playoff games under his belt.
Performed great in his first playoff game.
There's a bit of playoff experience on the team, even on the back end of the roster. Right. The Langston Galloways, this is not a completely inexperienced team in the Phoenix Suns, as people would,
And
as the media had us to believe. I mean,
D-Book is also a cold killer. That's the thing. They're like, he don't give a fuck if the game is at the YMCA. He's a hooper. Like that's why everyone's talking about this. Oh, it's his first play. Devin Booker is built for this shit. Ayton, I was surprised to see the way he came out first game. But Devin Booker, I don't think that's ever going to be an issue for him. He's built for this shit. He's built to be the man in the playoffs. It's what he always wanted, and he's cool. He's cool with that. Ayton, absolutely stunned at how well he played. I was amazed. I couldn't believe it, right?
That was shocking because that was the one.
He was outstanding.
It was completely contrary to every report and every analysis going into that series.
Completely shut
is the weak point. Every chat, every forum, every message board, every group chat. Oh, AD and Drummond will clean up on Ayton. Ayton's not ready. Ayton needs to hit the weight room.
Absolutely.
Ayton. And not only did he hear the noise, but he's proven to be. Ayton has some heart. I just don't think that emotionally that's going to carry over to game 2. And that's with how young he is. We know Anthony Davis is a monster. Even a 90% Anthony Davis on the bounce back.
Right.
I'd be looking at some Anthony Davis stuff tonight. I'm just saying that to everyone. Not his PRA, but definitely his points, his rebounds.
Double and a win. Sprinkle a little bit on that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's hard.
I think we get surgical LeBron tonight. I think we get the LeBron, the ha-ha, you guys thought I was so hurt, LeBron tonight. But the Suns have the makeup of a team to go far. I still think the Suns can actually win this series.
I have them winning the series.
Yeah,
I'm not this.
I have a ticket on them winning the title. It's not like super crazy, but like
this Laker team does not scare me, and they shouldn't scare you or anyone else. If you've been watching them all year, they shouldn't scare you. They put fear in no one. And
it's the name brand. It's the name brand. It's the name brand.
Fitness. They're not being played. These games are being played at NBA arenas. I don't know how to stress that enough. Where the fuck was Tyler Hero last night?
There is another path, though. There is another path to the Lakers getting back into this series. It's rare for LeBron in his career. But, if the Lakers lose this tonight, what we're saying about the refs being implicated, the way that the tone of the game will be officiated, we can definitely see that shift as things move back to LA. I have not bet the Lakers money line yet, but I like the Lakers to win this game tonight. I think that they get a bunch of free throws.
I think they will win the game, and that's why. I think they're going to shoot a shit ton of free throws. It's going to be a drag it out, rugged, ugly, mid-90s basketball game. I got to get a haircut. That's why I got this hat on.
I actually can't even get a haircut right now. All the barbers here are on lockdown. Haircuts up here are like $150.
I'm going at 1 o'clock.
Got to pay $150 for a haircut right now, bro, in Canada. Just letting everyone know that. It's crazy right now.
That's outrageous.
Price is up. Barber is eating. But because the barbershops are barbershops even open where you are?
Hell yeah, dog. They've been open. I mean, been open, but it's like it's by appointment only. You can't just walk in anymore like right now. But I think like the stay-at-home order, not the stay-at-home order, but like everything's opening up in Philly. Like it's pretty much open now. Restaurants are going to be at like I think restaurants are like 50% right now, or like a little bit over, and I think everything's like fully open within like this next week coming up. I know Jersey's back open too, and then the Sixers game, bruh.
I know you were at the game the other day versus the Wizards.
That was like.
How was that, bro? Just pulling up the Lakers Phoenix stats. We'll move on to the. We've been on for a while. We'll probably do this in a more express format going forward. We're just, this is the first time we linked up on video like this. So let's get back to it as well. Actually,
for sure.
Lakers Phoenix, right here. We see the Lakers are on a 2-game non-covering streak, dating back to the beginning of the postseason when they failed to cover against the Golden State Warriors. Although they won the game, I'm probably going to take the Lakers money line. I'm pretty close to doing that right now. Lakers money line, Nets over 227. Scoring 90 points in a playoff game for LeBron is absolutely unacceptable. As an organization, I know that they respect the Phoenix Suns. We haven't really seen, up until they started beefing, it sort of became a wrestling match. Montrezl Harrell all that stuff in the third quarter between the Suns and the Lakers. It's a physical series so far. It's really the way it's supposed to be, like some old school basketball. Not necessarily exactly, but I think we're going to see that level of physicality tonight. But I think they're going to go at Ayton. I like AD stuff tonight. I like the Lakers to win this game. Any last thoughts on this one before we move on to the Clippers and the Mavericks game tonight?
Nah, like I said, I lean Lakers. I have no bet on either team yet, unless something else develops throughout the day. I'm probably gonna watch the game as a very upset fan of basketball because I don't believe we're gonna get high quality basketball tonight.
Check out the offensive efficiency over the course of the last 3 games. You can see over here that when the green arrow is darker, it's more weighted towards that team. So, the Phoenix Suns, come on, bro. Over the last 3 games as a team, 66% from the free throw line. As a team, the Lakers. Unacceptable. It's things like that make me want to refrain from betting on them today. But they've lost 2 in a row against the spread. Like I have my conspiracy hat on for this game. I'm circling in on Lakers money line. So,
hey man, for me personally, like I said, I'm with you. I believe they'll win the game. It's a no play for me, unless I change my mind later on. But like I said, if I had to lean one way or the other, it'd be the Lakers. We're betting on history. We're betting on what we see on the bounce back of Anthony Davis. And we don't know. Again, there's some level of uncertainty as to the full health of Chris Paul. All those factors would make you lean one way. For me, it's that way, the same way you're looking at it.
Yep. But I'm rooting for the Suns. Go far. Let's move on to Clippers, Mavericks. Move on to that game, the final game of the night. Clippers, Mavericks. Doc Rivers is laughing at these guys after the game 1 stinker at home in the Staples Center. Luka's smelling blood right now. The spread is staying the same, though. We know that there are multiple faces that the Clippers show. They have a championship roster. A lot of pressure on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George tonight. A lot of pressure on Tyronn Lue. Rick Carlisle was running circles around him in game 1.
Bruh, listen, all I'm going to say, guys, is they're not going to shoot 11 for 40 from 3 again. All right. I think it's only commonplace that the Clippers tonight come out. They really get after Luka. I think tonight they have to make a statement.
They have to harass him
at some point. They got to get in his shit. Like I don't know what it is that they're missing, but bro, he's fucking torching you. He's destroying.
He's surgical. When he plays the Clippers, it's surgical.
At some point, they have to get physical with him. Do something, because you can't just let him get free reign to get to the middle of the foul line area. Once that happens, bro, it's nothing. And this another thing with defenders when they play Luka Doncic, you cannot get close to him, and it's not because you can't get close to him because you'll foul him. It's because he wants you to play close to him, because then he can dictate where you go as a defender. And that's a mistake that they're making. You got to play off him. If he beats you shooting the 3, fine. But if once he gets in that in-between area, in the middle of the foul area, it's nothing you can fucking do, because he's 240 pounds, strong enough to move wherever he wants. And like I said, with the way he plays, with his old man game, it's when you're close to him, he wants to feel you close to him. That way he can dictate where you go and walk into fouls. He does it all the time. That's how he plays. You know what I mean? That's so that's the biggest mistake they're making. Stop trying to get up in his shit. If Luka Doncic goes 7 for 10 from 3, you can live with that. You can't let him go 5 for 8 from 3 and then let him get anything he wants at the free throw line or at the basket. And
it's unexactable, bro. It's unacceptable to allow him.
I also don't understand it. Also, you got to give the other guys credit. Hardaway came with them. Porzingis played all right. The other guys hit shots too. So that's no. It's not just. I'm not just trying to say that it's a one-man band. We all know who the straw is that stirs the drink. Luka's the guy. We know that. But the other guy showed up for him the other day.
On both sides of the ball.
On both sides of the rock.
They had a game plan. They had a game plan to allow. If you notice what was going on, they were letting Kawhi blow by and drive to the rim.
That's a fact.
To plug up everyone on the three-point line, and it worked. Paul George, all these guys were cold.
Contesting everything. And
easy path to the basket for Kawhi.
And
everyone on the three-point line is plugged up. They have to go back to what was working for them before they cooled off towards the end of the season with the beautiful ball movement, with the system that Ty Lue implemented with them. He almost had a couple of these guys changing their reputations during the season with how well that they were moving the ball. Guys like Marcus Morris. I think it was the addition of Nicholas Batum. Like that ball passing, that ball movement mentality really was spreading throughout the team over the course of the season. But they reverted as they got the guys back from injuries. They were forcing and also integrating Rondo into the roster, Ibaka into the roster, Kawhi Leonard from absences. They reverted back to ISO ball. The Clippers reverted back to ISO ball in the last 10 games.
In regards to what you just said. And if you're a gambling man, we got fooled by this. Team, we've done this all season, right? For some reason, because it was a playoff game, people thought it would change. When teams integrate a new player, we've immediately faded them for the first game. That's been how we've played all year. It's how we've gambled. Right?
We've been talking about that since the bubble.
We're thinking Ibaka's going to get some run in a regular season game. Never got one. Never came back for regular season. First game back, playoff game. What do you do? It's being cognizant of that, and just even though we don't want it to apply to the playoffs, we got to apply it to the playoffs because everybody's like, oh, it's a different season. No, you still have to apply it. You still have to think, listen, they're integrating a new guy. They're putting him back and trying to think that he's going to be able to play the exact same role, right? Yeah, he might be able to play the role that you expect, right? But what about the other guys that were producing while he was gone? What are they going to do? Because now their role has changed, and you're still going to need them to play minutes. People don't think of that.
It destabilizes everything. I can see visually, Ibaka's lost weight.
That's
over the course of his injury. I can tell that he doesn't look as big and bulky as he did in the past. Them integrating him in a rush format sort of was their downfall a bit, besides the cold 3-point shooting. But in this game tonight, I know I'm seeing some public support for the Clippers again tonight, but I think the Clippers blow them out tonight, bro.
I agree.
I think the Clippers come out tonight and blow these guys away. The Mavericks have a quality roster, a quality young roster that projects well going forward. But these are the spots, and the line is steaming towards that direction as well. It's like it's actually just hit 7, which is scary. I probably need to jump on it before we get priced out. But
I believe personally it's an asshole. I think that
I like Clippers cover, Clippers team total over.
I like the cover. I don't know about the team total, simply because in games where Dallas get blown out, they really get blown out, and then they won't even hit 90, and you'll be in a situation where the fourth quarter, the fourth quarter is like a 21-19 score.
The Clippers team total over.
What's the number?
I don't even know. I'll look it up right now.
I haven't even seen it.
Mainly, I like the Clippers to cover. I'm gonna bet this game.
I like the Clippers to cover tonight. I 100% like them to cover. I also like PG and Kawhi to both score 25 points.
Now I know Luka's the young prodigy, the Messi of the NBA.
Ooh,
big tag. I know. I just get that vibe from him. Young.
I love Luka. I'm not gonna listen. I got nothing bad to say about the guy. I was critical of him at the beginning of the year when they were saying he was an MVP candidate. Beginning of the year, he shot the ball terribly. Post All-Star break, he's been outstanding. I can't really complain.
I think Luka's the Messi of the NBA, and Shohei Ohtani is the Westbrook of baseball.
Shohei Ohtani is one of the best athletes ever created in the history of Earth. He could probably be good at anything. He's he was made in the lab. That dude's different. I don't.
Danny, it's early. It's early. He's questioning the Messi line. It's
Yeah,
early.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
the age. Look at the age. I'm just saying. Look at the age.
No, I'm saying Messi was on the scene at 17 now. Yeah, and I understand that Luka was. I understand Luka was doing that shit in Euroball. I feel you, bro. Like you talk. Messi is like.
Messi has a whole closet full of trophies and another house full of trophies.
Messi's he's like soccer god, dog. Like he's like really up there in that pantheon of like on some Michael Jordan shit. Like I'm like obviously yes, I gotta say it like that. Like when we compare in sports, like legendary, and I'm not even a Messi guy, though. I'm a more Ronaldo guy. But like Messi is talking about a child. Come on, he still looks like a child. He's like 5'5".
Yeah, he does, bro. Shout out to Messi, bro. Shout out to Messi. Can't wait for La Liga, all that to crank up. We'll be all over that. Just want you guys to know La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Premier League, all that. So, we closed a pretty good season. It was pretty tricky though with the pandemic, but it was fun still. Just as a fan.
Shout out to Luis Suarez.
Congrats to Suarez with Atletico.
Real OG.
But yeah,
yes, sir.
Sounds like you have anything else you want to share on the Clippers game? I'm gonna take the Clippers to cover tonight.
I'm right there with you. I like the Clippers to cover. I'm not really feeling like I said. I just Dallas can't. They can't do it again tonight. The Clippers have no choice. They have to whoop these dudes' ass tonight. They don't have a choice. It's got to go down tonight. So yeah, I'm rolling 100% with that prediction. I fuck with the Clippers heavy tonight.
The line movement's telling. I'm going to look in to see just in case if there's some last minute news or anything about this game. We are dealing with the Clippers and the Mavs, two teams with players that do have injury history, but I haven't heard anything. So if all systems are go for both of these squads, I'm taking the Clippers, kind of like the over as well. But we don't have to play at all. We can just go for our spots, be surgical with it. It's difficult. Danny, my guy, said you guys are a great combo. Thanks, bro. Me and Sosa, we go way back, bro. We talk about the games. This is how we kick it. So
it's only going to get better, guys. Like this is just a trial run, but yeah.
The pilot. It's the pilot.
It's just the pilot, man.
But yeah. Thanks for supporting as well. Make sure you guys follow his page
as well.
Sosa the Locksmith.
Yeah, I have Sosa the Locksmith on YouTube. I just haven't linked up everything. I'm just in the process of putting an office together. That should be done by the end of the week. So
yeah, get on that, bro. Get on that. Content,
you already know
all that, bro. Crank it out. It's time to build a machine.
For sure.
And yeah, let's move on. We've talked about the basketball games. For me, I'm going with Nets, Celtics over 227. I'm going with Lakers money line, and I'm going with Clippers -7. I've actually only bet that's while we were talking, the Nets over. When I tweet it out, it'll be final. Just so you guys know, that will be when I've actually locked them in. But I'm blocking in the Lakers money line and the Clippers -7 for a total of 3 picks. If I take a game out, it might be the Lakers money line. But right now I'm locked in on 3. I like to pick an odd number of games. So, and I'm seeing some good lines on SportX. So I'm going to jump into all 3 of those. What do you have for NBA? You want to share your entire menu?
My entire look.
Stuff that you, or just your key stuff. You can share other stuff on Twitter or whatever you want to do.
I guess I like Brooklyn to cover. I like the game to go over 227. I'm now looking at Brooklyn's team total. Brooklyn's team total's at 117.5. I think I could see them putting up a cool 70 in the first half tonight, man. I just can't expect them to come out and shoot terribly. You feel what I'm saying? I just can't see it. So those are the 3 plays from that game. Probably do. I'm gonna do probably a full unit on the Celtics Nets over, and I'll probably do half on the Brooklyn team total, and half on Brooklyn covering the 9.
Okay.
And then are we going game by game?
Yeah, I just gave out those 3.
Okay. And then
I'm going to look into some props as well. So
yeah,
I'm looking at Anthony Davis particularly. We talked about that. So
yeah. I believe for him to get 25 is very, 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 very cheap. Yeah, it's even money. Anthony Davis 25 plus -110 on FanDuel Sportsbook right now. Lock it in, get Get it. Lock it in now. Now. I mean, I think his game, at 25 plus on FanDuel. Also, I actually like both teams to play well. I like the over in that Laker Phoenix game. I mean, I like both teams to shoot the ball better. I mean, if both teams just make 3 shots more, the game goes over, right? They're adjusted. They've played each other the first game. It's going to be a little more open. You expect some foul shots, some foul calls. You expect teams to shoot a little bit better. All the jitters and all that bullshit of the first game is out of the window. I think 210 is free cash. And yeah, I like the Clippers to cover. Like the Clippers covering should be. I think it should be everyone's. You should look at this Clipper game, much like the Milwaukee game last night and the Denver game last night. Like obviously Milwaukee had shot terribly the first game, and then Denver had to win. It's the same situation for the Clippers tonight. The Clippers are not cool with going, and it's not okay for them to go into Dallas down 0-2. That is not okay. So that's everything I like for basketball. Baseball, we're moving forward to that next, right?
Yeah, let's do an express format with baseball. And
sure.
The next time we do this, it'll be a lot more express too. I want to thank everyone for watching this right now, taking the time out of your morning to try to grab some insights and just kick it with us this morning. I'm here with Sosa the Locksmith. It's my guy knows the guy. We're here looking at the interface on SportX.Bet, looking at some of the markets, trying to help Sosa with some crypto stuff too. Even though he's already in that world, we have some of those discussions as well. We just put out some NBA plays. I'm gonna tweet my stuff out as well. Just want to thank everyone for supporting. Definitely check out the site, and we can look at some of the lines for the baseball games and just go through Express. I have 2 games that I like in particular, and a dog that I'm looking at.
I'm going to share Express 3 after you. Yep.
Yeah, it's I'll just be short with it. I'm looking at the St. Louis Cardinals to win on the road tonight, plus 127. They play the Chicago White Sox. I like the Cardinals tonight. They're dipping a bit, but the Cardinals have been a great money-making team this season. They're also a pretty decent team on the road. They're a team that I like psychologically to lock in with their bats after they come out with poor performances. They're a team that I cap in these particular situations. They're a dog. They deserve to be a dog. But I've been making money with Sosa this season, fading the White Sox at the crib. When the line is telling like it is tonight.
That is factual.
Flaherty,
he's undefeated.
He's undefeated. You know, Simba just said Jack F. 8-0. We know what's going on.
We know the deal.
We know that the math says that that's more likely to not happen tonight. But I've actually got to see him pitch. Like the guys, he's rejuvenated. He's having like a revitalized season. Something's going on with him. Maybe his workout or something. But he's thrown his hat in the ring.
Maybe it's the juice. Maybe it's the juice.
I mean, the line's juice for them. You know? I'm talking trash. Yeah, I like what he's doing, but I like the Cardinals as a team. Goldschmidt, Arenado. I like these guys after they lose a couple of games to get together. I don't think that they have the makeup to go on many losing streaks the way that they are right now. And I think it ends tonight plus 127 for the Cardinals for me. My other pick is the Oakland A's minus 165 on the money line. They're favored. Also in a bounce back spot.
I like that.
Oakland A's are a legit threat to take that division. I know the Astros lead the league in most offensive metrics. They're cooling off just a little bit, but I like the A's to take out the Mariners tonight after the upset last night.
That's a good call.
So tonight I'm taking the St. Louis Cardinals and the Oakland A's. Those are my 2. I have a dog, but I'll share it after you discuss.
If you were to parlay both of those, it's a 255. For anybody wondering.
Yeah, sounds like you might agree on them.
I definitely agree with the second pick. I'm scared about picking against Giolito at home. Giolito's very good he pitches well at the crib. For me, it's a stay away. It's not. But betting with Flaherty undefeated, it's a good bet. It's a stay away for me just because Lucas, he can be pretty dominant. I have a couple of plays that I really like today. I like the Washington Nationals first 5 run line. It's at -140. Scherzer on the hill against a Cincinnati lineup that's been pedestrian over the last 2 weeks.
Take a look at some of the volumes. That seems to be one of the higher bet games.
Rock with your boy today.
Volume. It's got to be Scherzer, right?
Scherzer's on the hill today. That's why we're rocking with him.
High volume game.
Absolutely. The next one for me also is the Boston Red Sox money line at +100. They're dogs.
Home dogs.
Home dogs. You want to play it safe and take the +1.5. That's cool. Charlie Morton's been unimpressive. I like the Red Sox at the crib. The Braves also are not as good on the road as they've been at home. They've been much better at home. They've hit the ball much better at home. Give me the Red Sox at Fenway, 7:00 start. Should be easy bread. And then I wanted to go. I was gonna dip into the Mets run line because DeGrom's on the hill. He missed the start. But I think the other dog that I like today is the Orioles at +180. Barrios been unimpressive. Minnesota as a whole has been unimpressive. Means didn't pitch good last night. I like Kramer to bounce back today. I like the Orioles. If you guys want to play it safe, take the +1.5. It's still great money at -111. But I personally like the Orioles today. They're a heavy dog.
Outright.
And when you have a team like Minnesota who's not good, favored like that, give me the other team. They're a quick fade for me because Minnesota's not good. And for them to be such astounding favorites, that ain't the way. We're going to revisit this tomorrow, obviously. So if I'm wrong and it blows up in my face, just make sure y'all let me know. But I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. We're gonna ride out with the Orioles today. I like them a lot. And then obviously, the system bet of the day is the Dodgers run line. I bet them every single day, not just because I'm a fan, but because they've been the most profitable team in baseball the last 3 years. The second most profitable team over the last 3 years, the Oakland Athletics.
On the money line.
On the money line, yes. I mean, the Oakland A's have averaged the last 3 full seasons. The Oakland A's have averaged 93 wins a season. Had they played a full season last year, they'd have won 95 games. I think I talked about this in another Twitter space about a month ago.
I like Irvin tonight, bro.
When it first started, but Oakland's always a safe bet. I mean, if we're betting on a team historically over the last 3 seasons, the 2 teams that you would go to first are the Dodgers and the Oakland A's. People are unaware of that. They would think it's the Astros, but it's actually the Oakland A's. So those 2 teams, I'm partial to betting them just because of what I know I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get consistency, from both those teams, and it doesn't really matter who Oakland has. They can revamp the lineup. They can bring in new guys. They always find a way to win because they have a great manager. No payroll. Hopefully they get moved to Vegas. They get moved to Vegas, the Oakland A's will win a title in less than 3 seasons.
Yeah, I think that's highly likely, bro, with the way that the MLB is almost like forcing them to now.
Just a
random
random
seen the reports. The A's are going to be in Vegas, bro. They're going to get rid of the Coliseum, all that. It's over. It's over, bro. The opposing teams talk about how they see leaks, like water leaks in the hallways and this leaky infrastructure of their stadium. The Oakland A's are going to Las Vegas. It's going to be the Las Vegas Athletics.
If you've ever been to a game at the Coliseum, it's fucking horrible. And that's no knock to the Bay, but I went to a couple Raider games. Oh my God, it's just getting there. It was a hassle. It was hard to get there.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's unless you live local. Oh my goodness, good. Yeah, and then it's getting in, getting out. It's the worst. It's the
Just
one.
sucks for them though, because they feel like they'll make more money in Vegas than they will in a smaller city in California. That's still a
They
part of a large metropolitan area.
they will. I mean, it's because also like Vegas is a sports hungry town. You know, they got a hockey team, and the hockey team immediately took off. You know,
They're gonna get an NBA team
they're going to get an NBA
in the
team.
next 2 to 3 seasons.
They got WNBA already in there. So yeah,
I can't wait to go to an NBA game in Vegas, bro. That'll be cool.
That's going to be.
That'd be cool, bro.
Seattle
For
deserves
sure.
a team though. Of any of the cities, any of the major cities in America that deserve an NBA team is Seattle. They're a basketball town, and when they lost the Sonics, it was heartbreaking. They deserve an NBA franchise of any city in America. So
Yeah, for sure, bro. So thanks for going over those picks. A lot of stuff right there. Hope you guys are writing it down. The main stuff was talked. I said St. Louis Cardinals on the money line, plus 1.5 is safer, obviously, juiced.
it is
Oakland
juiced.
A's minus 165. That's juiced. I like them though.
And that's actively moving. Like right now, that's at minus 180.
Yeah, see, that's just since we've started the show.
Yeah,
So it was minus 167 or so before. That's definitely something you may want to combine with something else, but I feel very confidently that the Oakland A's will come out and smash the Mariners tonight. I feel like the Cardinals will edge the White Sox tonight. And I might roll with you on the Orioles, bro. I might roll with you on the Orioles. Another game that I had on my list was the Pirates plus 1.5 at home. I think that the money line, the payment of that particular line, is telling that the Cubs, this may be a letdown game for them tonight. It's a tough spot. We have Arrieta, but in these interdivisional matchups between the Pirates and the Cubs, we see a lot of parity between those two teams over the years. It's pretty weird. So plus 1.5 for the Pirates at home tonight, for me, is not out of the question. It's something that I'm looking at, but we can't play it all. I Need Money said the Bay is losing all of their sports teams. Damn, no, they're not losing the San Francisco ones.
Yeah,
Those are money printing machines.
that's not really the Bay. We
Yeah.
talk about Oakland.
Yeah, but they share the Bay, you know?
Yeah, but it's different. Oakland and San Fran is not the same. It ain't the same.
Let's look at some of the stat splits of the Cardinals and White Sox over the last few games.
I mean,
Some of the advanced metrics. With hitters in scoring position, I mean, you know, the Cardinals pitching staff is just better to me, you know? So
the thing is,
let's see,
I disagree. I think that it's just this particular matchup. Like Flaherty's been good, but like the White Sox,
I know you like Keuchel and
the
Giolito.
White Sox rotation is definitely better. They're definitely better. We talk about Keuchel. Keuchel is not even the ace. You got Lucas, Giolito, and Rodon has been their best player. Rodon's been their best pitcher. Like he's been the best.
Rodon's
pitcher.
pretty good, bro. I
Right.
just see, bro, the Cardinals are monsters with hitters in scoring position. As a pitching staff.
They got to
They
get on.
ice
base,
innings. They ice innings, but they have to hit. It's like you said.
What's
They have to
crazy
hit.
to me is that Flaherty's got like a 4+ ERA and he's still undefeated. That means they score runs for him. So like
Yeah, in those matchups.
So I get why you would do it. I mean they're averaging like 7 runs. If his ERA is over 4,
Let's
they
keep it
gotta
real, bro.
get,
It's
like,
the opposite of
7 games.
Giolito. Giolito's amazing. He doesn't get the run support. But maybe that was in the interdivision matchups. This is a cross, conference matchup. So
Yeah, but like I said,
cross league matchup right here.
it should be a good one. If anything, I'll take the under. I think both pitchers should pitch pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Giolito.
I have a busy day, bro. I know you do too. We're gonna jump
Likewise,
back on
I really
Twitter
do, man.
Spaces later on to talk about the games that we have finalized, locked in, all that. Make sure you guys are aware of what's going on our Twitters. Follow SportX_project on Twitter to stay in the know of what's going on with the SportX project. It is the #1 sports project in all of crypto, an amazing sports book that tilts things in your favor, gives you value long run. It's not available in the US, and hopefully it will be soon. But people who are outside the US definitely take advantage of this opportunity right now. Make a free account, join the contests, and I'll help you get set up. Send me a message. I'll help you get set up on the site. We're going to run some contests, some giveaways right here on the podcast. For anyone that's interacting with us in the chat, I'll announce some stuff on that in the future. You guys can still participate in the giveaways, no matter where you are, and be involved with us as we give you progress on the project as things go forward, on the SportX token as well. I'm here to educate anyone that wants to know more about the project. So I've been working on a tutorial video. I'll have a tutorial video on how to use SportX for anyone that wants to learn how to use the platform. I'm really appreciative for Sosa the Locksmith to give us these insights today on all of these different markets. I'm messing with you guys. Let's do this. Let's go to the top.
Let's get it there. Let's get this
I
shit
need
popping
money.
every day.
Danny, my guy. Simba, I need money. Everyone that was here earlier, Jose. We went pretty long. We'll try to get this in a condensed format pilot episode. Yeah, that's all I got to say. The baller bet. If you have any words to leave them with, share some words with them. I played Nets over 227, and I'm about to play Clippers to cover the spread, and Lakers on the money line tonight. Looking at some Anthony Davis stuff as well. Give them your stuff. Sosa.
Hey, best of luck to everyone. Watch the Laker game. Count up the free throws. Let me know how many you count, how many actually should have happened, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm just gonna enjoy the rest, like what I can as a fan. I don't expect good basketball from that game. If you're gambling tonight, best of luck to you. Hope you win every single dollar times a million, and then hit me up and share.
Yeah, shout out to the whole community. Shout out to everyone that was able to watch this.
Appreciate everyone.
Yeah, we're here. Let's go. Let's move on. NFL around the corner. Let's do it. Let's go up. Peace. We're out for now, and we're on Twitch and YouTube. Launching some SportX channels as well. Probably going to migrate this over there. Just was wanting to run this format and get our thoughts out. Thank you so much for chilling with us this morning. It's a very, very busy day. I'm working on a couple of things. And yeah, just stay tuned to what we have going on. Stay connected. Things are really, really kicking into high gear now. Can't wait. Peace, everyone.